Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the retirement ceremony for Commander Tremaine Trey Kreiner, who celebrates 27 years of service to our nation. I'm your Master of Ceremonies, Lieutenant Colonel Dave Hyman. Distinguished guests include Rear Admiral James Kurt and Rear Admiral Sinclair Harris, retired. I'd also like to welcome the Kreiner family and friends. Thank you for joining us on this special day. Awards, gifts, and certificates will be displayed at the reception after the ceremony. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for ruffles and flourishes, the national anthem, and the invocation by Lieutenant Jonathan Wiboko, Chaplain, United States Naval Academy. Strike four bells. Commander, United States Navy, arriving. Strike six bells. Deputy Commander, Chief of Staff, Joint Warfare Center, Allied Command Transformation, United States Navy, arriving. Retire the colors.
Order! Arm! Ready to right facing. Forward march.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Wiboko, Command Chaplain, United States Naval Academy.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together and celebrate the career of Commander Trey Kreiner. It is our joy to be able to honor his service. We all know that the life of a naval officer is a special calling. It is full of uncertainty and sacrifice, but it also comes with a deep sense of well-earned pride and accomplishment. We thank you for using this career to help shape Commander Kreiner into the man he is today. And at the same time, we are thankful for the impact that he has had on the Navy, the impact that he has had on the lives of individual sailors and countless leaders throughout his career. From the America to frigates, from San Diego to Bahrain, from ACUs to NRTC to the Marine Corps University, you have used him in a wide range of assignments to help lead, guide, and influence others. As he begins the next chapter of his life, we ask your richest blessings upon him. Help him to continue to grow as a man and as a leader. Guide him in his new adventure, filling him with your strength and courage. And may this celebration inspire all of us to serve our nation, our brothers and sisters beside us, and you, with greater enthusiasm and gratitude. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Wiboko. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Well, first, I think it's completely strange that we're sitting here in this marvelous weather in March in Annapolis. What a fantastic day. Obviously, those looking down upon you are blessed this day with wonderful weather. And what a wonderful group of folks that's shown up here. So, Trey, Deb, it's a joy to be with you today. Alan, I'm glad you could make it. And Shani, and where's Leyland? Where's Small Fry? Small Fry? I understand it's what a gorgeous little girl. Here to celebrate your father's service. Evelyn, Keith, Chris, Karita, it's great to see you here. To all Trey's friends and those present, his Napster buddies, his company buddies, those he served alongside. I think we have a few of the Mayport Mafia here that I recognize. Thank you for coming. To join together to celebrate Tremaine Kreiner's service to his nation and Navy, to give thanks for his service, to mark his transition from active service and welcome him to his next chapter in what has been a rich and fulfilling life. Let me start by saying what a privilege it is and profound gratitude I have for being here with you here in Bancroft Hall. Here, Trey and I, and perhaps a few others, return to what are hallowed halls. Here and not too far down the road in Arlington rest those who've gone before us, some of whom we knew and served alongside. Here we were forged into men and women who would go on to serve our nation. Some of us took the 5 and drive option and went on to civilian life. Others, like Trey, committed 31 years of his life to our Navy. Trey began his service a little farther north in Newport, Rhode Island as a student at NAPS, or the Naval Academy Preparatory School. I know some of his buddies, I think, are here in the audience. And I can just say, I missed being his football coach by just a few months. And I'm guessing this would have been a slightly better retirement speech had that happened. As a Napster, Trey showed up at the Academy a little better prepared than most, but no doubt he, like many of us, found this place a tough go. Having graduated in the top third of the bottom third of my class, I think Trey and I probably share a similar feeling of joy and dread as we walk around the campus here. And I don't know about Trey, but just below here, there's another area where musters took place. Those were restricted musters. And I have the added sense and fright-filled nostalgia and reverence as I stand here today. Trey's career took him across the globe. After completing his initial training at the Surface Warfare Officer School, Ensign Kreiner reported to USS America, which at the time was one of our oldest aircraft carriers. Tough duty that required a tough young officer. From there, Trey began what would become a staple of his service at sea aboard our Oliver Hazard Perry-class frigates, for which I am profoundly grateful. The reason for my thankfulness I'll come back to in a couple minutes. Aboard USS Simpson, Trey sharpened his skills and carried those on to one of our Leroy Grumman. As a department head, he returned to serve aboard USS Underwood, another one of our workhorse frigates, and then trained other department heads and their teams as a team leader at the Float Training Group Pacific. His career has taken him to assault craft units, twice to Bahrain to our 5th Fleet headquarters, a Naval Reserve Officer Training Unit in Quantico, Virginia to teach our future leaders. It has been a magnificent career of service. I'd like to share with you a little bit more about one of his tours, his time as executive officer aboard USS Dord FFG 45. Trey reported aboard as XO to a ship in need of leadership. He had a captain that had never served aboard a frigate early in his command tour. That captain was me. We had a team that had spent a number of years conducting operations in the Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific in support of law enforcement and counter-drug operations. They were very good at that mission, but some of the broader aspects of warfighting had atrophied, and Trey and I worked together to strengthen our team's culture and capabilities to operate in a different and potentially more dangerous environment in the coming years. Trey was everything a captain could ever wish for in command. He was a trusted advisor. He was, in fact, in many ways, my mentor, especially in ship handling of a frigate. And I can say I can twice recall that he was the person between me and a long green table as we moored our little frigate in a couple tight spots. Once in Salaberry, Peru, and once as we did a port shift in Panama. And then there was the time our Panamanian line handling friends decided to cast off one of our lines so that it wrapped itself around our propeller in the middle of transiting the Panama Canal. And that ship only has one propeller. You know, it was Trey, it was a potential danger to our sailors, an immediate danger to our ship because of that loss of propulsion. It was Trey that calmly, thoughtfully, and decisively took action to save the day and my bacon. More than that, he built a team. He took a wardroom and chief's mess, brought them together. He took a crew and showed them that we can work hard and be good stewards of our ships. We could be a war-fighting frigate, and that we could have some fun too. And some of you know Trey is quite a sports fan. He bleeds Chicago, right? Bears, Bulls, all of them. And at the time we served together, he also still imagined himself a young man of immense athleticism. And I shared with him this fancy, that we were still young and capable men, that we imagined stared us in the mirror. And because of my misplaced encouragement of Trey, I almost lost him. You see, Trey wanted our sports teams to be active. We wanted our teamwork and our toughness to be strengthened through command-supported efforts. And I joined him on the basketball team. We had nice uniforms, and I think Trey might have had something to do with the selection of those. They were good looking. We looked good. That is until Trey and I got on the court. On one fine day, Trey was in his fine glory, like a shorter and stouter version of Michael Jordan. Trey ran the court. That is until he tried to change directions. And I'm not talking about some eye-popping move. Just a change from a slow jog in the forward direction to a slow back pedal. And suddenly it looked like he'd been shot right in the leg. Trey was in obvious pain. He winced and limped his way to the bench. And at this point, I showed my compassion and caring by telling him, your Achilles better not be torn, because if it is, I'm gonna have them just cut your darn, and I probably didn't say darn, leg off, and your new nickname will be Stumpy. Or words to that effect. Like all tough guys from Chicago, Trey sucked it up. The only impact was XOs, messing and berthing, where the XO goes and checks and makes sure everything's squared away. Those took a bit longer because of his limp. And he was probably tardy to a couple of meetings because he was gimping his way to them. Advanced the clock a couple years, and I'm in Bahrain while the carrier strike group that I was assigned to was in theater, and I got a chance to get ashore and found Trey. He was in a wheelchair after getting his Achilles fixed. I again expressed that if rehab does not work out, he should just pull a Ronnie Lott and cut the darn, and again, I don't think I have ever said darn, gimpy leg off. While I may have embellished that story a little bit, the fact is that Trey was not going to leave that crew without an XO. He was then, and always has been, an officer of immense commitment. And I know that without him on to work, the crew and I would have been poor for the loss of his leadership and skills. And I, in fact, would already probably be onto my secondary career as a Walmart greeter. Trey, thank you for all you've done during your career, for all the sailors you've trained, for all the shipmates that you've mentored, and all the fond memories that you've given us. Alan, your dad's meant a lot to us. those who served alongside him these many years. We know that you sacrificed so that he could serve his nation and Navy. Know that we honor you here today too. Know that during those days and nights away that you were never far from his mind and always in his heart. I know that's true. Deborah, this has been a long time coming. The frantic days and lonely nights when Trey was away on one ship after another or in some faraway duty station are now in the wake. The Navy, for the first time in 31 years, is taking its hand off the helm of his life and leaving life's course to you and Trey alone. I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of our Navy, thank you for your service alongside Trey. I and so many sailors are grateful to you for lending us your partner in life so that we can be ready to defend this nation we're called upon. Trey, thanks for having me here today to celebrate your service with your family and friends. Please forgive me if I've embarrassed you in any way. I did not take any of the other stories about the nickname Booger, going out at night when you were supposed, now I'm doing it, sorry. But going out at night with your brother when you weren't supposed to play cards next door. I didn't tell any of those stories. And none of his Napsters or company mates shared anything else with me, or I would gladly share it right here. But thanks for having me here today to celebrate your service with family and friends. Again, forgive me if I've embarrassed you in any way by revealing anything in front of your brothers and sisters that they might now use against you in a future family squabble that's coming up. But I'm guessing they knew your basketball skills had waned since your youth. Most importantly, thanks for being you. Sherry and I offer our best wishes to you as you begin this next chapter in life.
Will Rear Admiral Kirk and Commander Trey Kreiner please step forward for awarding of citation? The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Meritorious Service Medal to Commander Tremaine Kreiner, United States Navy, for service as set forth in the following. For outstanding meritorious service while serving as the International Military Student Coordinator and Navy faculty at Marine Corps Command and Staff College, Marine Corps University, Quantico, Virginia, from November 2017 to March 2020. Commander Kreiner's leadership, devotion to duty, and professionalism had a positive impact on the future security of the United States. As a leader and mentor, he dedicated himself to the development of future senior national security leaders and maximized the educational opportunity for each international military student at Command and Staff College. As the International Military Student Coordinator, he helped allied and partner students and their families in an educational experience, providing them an introduction to the United States and the joint military community. His performance of duty is the hallmark of a career devoted to accomplishing broad and diverse assignments. Commander Kreiner's superior performance of duties culminated his 26 years of honorable and dedicated military service. By his exceptional professionalism, perseverance, and loyal dedication to duty, Commander Kreiner reflected great credit upon himself and upheld the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service. For the President, J.M. Bargeron, Brigadier General, United States Marine Corps, Commanding General, Education Command. Will Miss Deborah please join Rear Admiral Kirk at the podium? Certificate of Appreciation is presented to Mrs. Deborah D. Kreiner. In grateful appreciation of your unselfish, faithful, and devoted support to your husband's career. Your continuous encouragement and understanding helped to make possible Tremaine's lasting contribution to the United States Navy. We fully realize that your perseverance and understanding were not provided without hardship and sacrifice during his years of service to our naval service. J.M. Bargeron, Brigadier General, United States Marine Corps, Commanding General. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you Tremaine Kreiner, United States Navy.
Good afternoon. I'd like to thank Admiral. That was a great story. Brought back a lot of memories that we shared together. Director, sir, Colonel, appreciate you, Dean, coming out, family and friends, Admiral Harris, colleagues, shipmates, fellow naturals, 1, 2. We go way back. I appreciate everyone coming out. I know this is about a journey, and that's my small fry. She want to come up here with a papa, but I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. For all my brothers and sisters who make that trek from the Midwest, we ride deep. We always stick together. We have our circle of trust, as we call it. So thank you. To all my aunties, I'm giving my cue to Kevin. He was having an emotional moment too because he was loving it. But to my Aunt Aretha and my Aunt Evelyn, they come all one from Indiana, the other one from South Bend. Those are my aunties. Always been in my heart, but got a chance to meet them for the first time this past 2 years. Showed a lot of love. Thank you for coming out. All right, to my grandma Shirley. Yes, you. She's the one who keeps the humor going. I love her smile. But she's a Louisiana, Grambling, or Southern girl. But Grandma, I appreciate you coming out the long trek. I really appreciate it. To my Aunt Pammy, thank you for coming out. Grandma's her oldest daughter. She was here. It was her brothers and sisters. They was here when I graduated. So it's very special that she made it out. Thank you. All right, to my baby sister, Karita. She always called me Booger. Please don't listen to her stories because none of it is true. She's sitting next to my brother, both of them, and I think she believes she got more jokes. I think she gets away with it. But as we trek through, she understands that I'm the favorite out of all my kids. So they're the favorite. To my older sister, Evelyn, to the thick and thin that she's been through. A lot of ups and downs. She was there when my mom died. She was there when my dad died. Those are hard moments. And she just stood through those. To Pat, Mo, on the end, here's Pat right here. Thank you for opening up your home as a midshipman. Thank you for allowing me to be your son. It means a lot. 30 years. And I go thick and thin and hell or high water for you too. I love you so much you have done. And to my beautiful wife, Deborah. When I mentioned hell and high water, she's been through it. She's a trooper. She's been through a lot. Her mom couldn't make it. I wish she could, but I just want to make sure that she knows that I love her. Says I love you too. Yes, I love you too. So it's been a long way. And to all the family and friends that made that long journey, to Woodbridge, watching, my cousin Dwayne and his wife Teresa, supporting us when we came to Woodbridge. Thank you. It's been good. You've always been there when we needed you. And I just want to let you know that we love you. Going around, I want to make sure that, on the back I see some of my classmates. I see my LB, Ken, he's a Naval Academy grad. And I see Kevin Blather. Thank you for coming out. I know, to drive. And to my other sisters in the back, my sister Janine and Dennis, her husband back there, Chris, TD, Lot, Los, Dave. We have some memories back here in this hall, and I'm glad you're back here to see that. And to, my cousin, Keon, thank you for coming out. And some people have some journeys to go through. Life is not easy for all of us. I have some friends, go through some challenges, and I'm glad, one of them made it out. Z, my daughter, Angela, I'm glad you're making it out. Will, good to see you. So, and then let me see where is there she go. My niece Crystal, all the way down to Nigel, Trin, EJ. I knew you were going to drop it. But I just wanted to let you know I love my nieces and nephews and all my cousins, Tommy Patterson and Junior. Glad you guys are able to make it out. Karen, good that I'm glad that you all to make it out. Tommy, Nancy, good that you and my brother Chris. I had two brothers who weren't able to make it. But it's been a journey, and everyone probably know I'm a Trekkie, and y'all know the Admiral's name is James Kirk. It's not Kirk on Star Trek, but one of Jeffrey Chaucer's saying is, all good things must come to an end. And it's been a journey. It's been a journey for 30 years of people who shaped me, people who couldn't be here. My Uncle Randy, he taught me algebra. I would have never made it without him teaching me algebra in my grandmother's nook. So that, my brother who taught me, being tough, I used to hate playing catch with my brother Keith because he'll throw the ball at your head. You better catch it. So you wonder how I got good at sports as my older brother. So, he did that. And to my little brother Chris, we call him T-Bone. He just moves slow, like a pop. He moves slowly. Sometimes I thought he was going to get left this morning, but my sister kind of grabbed him by the head and made sure he was ready to go. But, love y'all, for coming out. But, the trek has always been ups and downs, and my aunties and my mom, cousins always tell me I would not be where I'm at without the prayers behind it. The prayers behind it make you who you are today. And even though this chapter in life, for me, is coming to a close in a new horizon, I am thankful for that. And I'm thankful, for my mother and father who raised me to be the person that I am today, to share who I am to you today, and you all had inputs to how I was, developed into the man that I am today. We have a lot of veterans in this audience, and those veterans helped mold the way for me as far as how, as an African-American young man coming from Chicago, it was tough coming through. And I got some of my classmates, they know it was tough coming through, but we persevered. We stuck together. And we weren't going to let any obstacles stop us for reaching those horizons. For my uncle, who was in the Navy back in, between the 50s and 60s, between Korea and Vietnam War, he was there on that well deck of the USS Carter Hall. I thank him for being able to make it out. One of the things he always told me, because he was here also when I graduated, he said, nephew, he said, you stay until you get your scrambled eggs. And I did, Uncle. I just want to thank you. As we come to a close, one of the things the saying is about journey. And the journey It's always going to come to an end, but the end is part of that journey. Tony Starks mentioned that. But even though that journey comes to an end, and everyone is part of this time, for me to close the book and start that new chapter in life. I thank you all for coming out, understanding the days and times. Make sure, and I tell people this, and I got some Bible thumpers, some heavy, folks that are faith and strong in faith like I am. We will not be here if it wasn't for the presence of the Lord. Plain and simple. I'm not going to deny it. It is what it is. You can accept it or you're not. So, continue to live your life and understand how you live your life. And I say thank you.
Commander Kreiner will now read his orders.
I will now read my orders from Commander Naval Personnel Millington to Commanding General Education Command President, Marine Corps University, Quantico. Official retirement orders for Commander Tremaine Gerard Kreiner. Your request to be transferred to retire list was approved by the Secretary of the Navy effective 01 June 2020. On 01 June 2020, you will be transferred to the retire list with the grade of commander and with the retired pay of commander pursuant to provisions of 10 of the United States Code, section 6323.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. I am the flag of the United States of America. My name is Old Glory. I fly atop the world's tallest buildings. I stand watch in America's halls of justice. I fly majestically over great institutions of learning. I stand guard with the greatest military power in the world. Look up and see me. I stand for peace, honor, truth, and justice. I stand for freedom. I am confident, I am arrogant, I am proud. When I am flown with my fellow banners, my head is held high, my colors are a little truer. I bow to no one. I am recognized all over the world. I am worshipped, I am saluted, I am respected, I am revered, I am loved, I am feared. For more than 200 years, I have fought in every battle of every war. Gettysburg, Shiloh, Appomattox, San Juan Hill, the trenches of France, the Argonne Forest, Anzio, Rome, the beaches of Normandy, the jungles of Guam, Okinawa, Tarawa, Korea, Vietnam, and in the heat of the Persian Gulf, Afghanistan, and a score of other places long forgotten by all. But those who were there with me, I was there. I led my sailors and Marines. I followed them. I watched over them. They loved me. I was on a small hill in Iwo Jima. I was battle-torn and tired, but my sailors and Marines cheered me. I was proud. I have been soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on the streets of countries that I have helped set free. It does not hurt, for I am invincible. I have seen soiled, burned, torn, and trampled on in the streets of my own country. And when it is done by those whom with I have served in battle, it hurts. But I shall overcome, for I am strong. I have slipped the surely bounds of earth, and from my vantage point on the moon, I stand watch over the new frontiers of space. I have seen the silent witness to all of America's finest hours, but my finest hour comes when I am torn into strips, to be used as bandages for my wounded comrades on the field of battle. When I fly half-mast to honor my soldiers, my sailors, my airmen, and my Marines, And when I lie in the trembling arms of her grieving mother and at the graveside of her fallen son or daughter, I am proud. My name is Old Glory. Long may I wait, dear God, long may I wait. The flag of the United States of America. This is to certify that the accompanying flag was flown over the United States Naval Academy, Annapolis, Maryland, on 15 February 2020, in honor of Commander Kreiner's 27 years of faithful service. Commander Kreiner is dedicating the first flag to Mr. Cleo Patterson. Thank you for your mentorship, support, and push throughout the years in helping me obtain my scrambled eggs. Love, Trey. Fair winds and following seas. T.R. Buchanan, Captain, United States Navy, Commandant of Midshipmen. This is certified that the company flag was flown over the United States Naval Academy, Annapolis, Maryland on 15 February 2020 in honor of 18 years of love, sacrifice, and support of your loving husband's service to our country. This flag is dedicated to Ms. Deborah Kreiner. Love, Trey. Fair winds and following seas. T.R. Buchanan, Captain, United States Navy, Commandant of Midshipmen. Now I will read the watch. Today, our Navy has given most of the pomp and circumstance, the honors, traditions, and ceremonies back to history. Time does not give us freedom to do what these things from the past, but we still have to stop all engines, lay about smartly, and drop anchor to pay homage to one of our shipmates going ashore. To honor the years served, the guidance, the leadership, the friendship, and the expertise that this shipmate has freely given these 26 years. For 26 years, this sailor has stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning our trade, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of war were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this shipmate stood the watch. Many times he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times, but he still stood the watch. He stood the watch for 26 years. He stood the watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen could sleep soundly in safety each and every night, knowing that a sailor stood the watch. Today, we are here to say, shipmate, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have led, guided, and trained. Commander Kreiner, you stand relieved. We have the watch. Boatswain, stand by to pipe the side. Shipmate going ashore. Strike 4 bells. Commander, United States Navy retired, departing. Strike 4 bells. Commander Trey Kreiner, retired and family departing. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the benediction by Lieutenant Jonathan Wiboko, Chaplain Corps, Command Chaplain, United States Naval Academy.
Please pray with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you again for this ceremony, a time to celebrate Commander Kreiner's career and contributions to our Navy and to our nation. A time to celebrate not only his sacrifices, but also the profound impact he has had on so many people. And now we look forward with great excitement for all that you have in store for him and Deborah as they begin a new chapter in their life. We ask that you make them aware of your presence and direction so that their hearts might be filled with unwavering peace and courage. Help us all to be inspired by what we have seen, heard, and remembered today so that we might continue to serve with even greater passion and commitment. As we go from here, help us to be people who act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly through life, so that we might fulfill our calling with boldness, conviction, and faith. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. The families invite you to join them for a reception at the Navy Club.